Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I am your host, Doug here. Let me just adjust this real quick. I am your host, Doug, here with the video blog for June 11th, 2014. I have a great blog once again planned for you today. Some good stuff to get to as we are going to talk Derek Fisher to the Knicks. Little MLB action as one guy makes a debut, another guy almost throws a no-no. We'll give you your New York sports update as well, World Cup preview, but let's get first to the NBA Finals. Last night, the San Antonio Spurs put on a shooting clinic, taking down the Miami Heat in Miami, 111-92. The Spurs now go up 2-1 in this best-of-7 series. It was definitely an exciting game to watch if you were a big-time San Antonio Spurs fan. They come out and shoot 13 of 15 from the field in the first quarter. Kawhi Leonard has his career-high night of 29 points. He was just out of his mind on 10 of 13 shooting. Played really well. The Heat defense was shaky. Really struggled with the good ball movement of the San Antonio Spurs. And that was pretty much the story of the game. Spurs were knocking down shots, and the Heat could not stop them. LeBron James still had a solid game with 24 points on 9 of 12 shooting. And it's going to come down, just like I said yesterday on the blog, I talked a lot about the X factor for the Spurs being Kawhi Leonard. He steps up, they win the game. My X factor for the Miami Heat in yesterday's game was the factor of Shane Battier, if he could get hot and win them a game. And Shane Battier just has not had a very good performance in this game so far. Or even in this series. Shane Battier last night played just 2 minutes, really not getting minutes in the game. Spurs really played, or the Heat really only played 8 guys last night. Still Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers are really struggling. They went combined 3 of 16 last night from the field, just really struggling. Those guys got to score the ball. I think in Game 4, like I said before, this series is going to be tied after the first 4 games of this series, and I think it still will be. I think the Heat are going to win Game 4. Chris Bosh is going to get more touches, and LeBron James is going to find a way to slow down Kawhi Leonard, and we'll probably see LeBron on Leonard to start the game tomorrow night, and it's going to be a fun game to watch for sure. I'm going to take Heat in Game 4 to tie the series up and take it back to San Antonio. Alright, World Cup starts up tomorrow afternoon. I'll give you a little look at the schedule for tomorrow in a second. But first I want to get to my top 5 most important players in this World Cup. These are not my top 5 overall players, my top 5 most important players. First up at number 5, I have the United States goalie of Tim Howard. I think the U.S. has a very small margin for error. They need Tim Howard to come out, establish himself as a premier goalie in this World Cup. And they need to keep the score. He can only allow about 1 goal a game. U.S. is good for 1 or 2 goals a game. They're going to have to get Altidore and Clint Dempsey going, but I think Tim Howard is going to have a major impact on the U.S.'s chances in this World Cup. Number 4 is Neymar from Brazil, the forward. I think Neymar is young. Brazil's the host nation, and they need to make a move and get Neymar into this rotation, get him into the lineup, and see if Neymar can somehow make some opportunities for this Brazilian team to score some goals early and try to advance on to the knockout round. Alright, my final 3 guys here are my top 3 players in this tournament. First up, number 3, Luis Suarez, the striker from Uruguay. Uruguay, once again, another team with a small margin for error. Luis Suarez, who played big in World Cups before, needs to come up big again and to get this team to the next round. Lionel Messi, the striker for Argentina. He is a fun player to watch. Really not a big-time offensive setter for this team, but just a big-time goal scorer. If the other Argentine players can get him the ball in his spots, I think Lionel Messi can have a huge impact and possibly get this team to a World Cup title. And finally, the best player in the world right now, Cristiano Ronaldo, the forward from Portugal. Just a outstanding player. If he's healthy, I think Portugal can make a deep run in this tournament. He is the most important player because he's the most valuable player because he is the best player. And if Cristiano Ronaldo can make an impact in this tournament and win some games for Portugal, they're going to be a dangerous team down the stretch. And as I said, tomorrow World Cup kicks off with Brazil, the host nation, Neymar, taking on Croatia. That game's going to be around 3:30, 4 o'clock in Sao Paulo. That is Group A play opening. We'll talk more about the World Cup on Friday. Yesterday, the Knicks hired their head coach, Derek Fisher. I like the move for the Knicks. He's a smart guy, but I'm going to have to say it was not the best option. I think overall, with the state of the team, no first-round draft pick this year, just one draft pick from the Kings in the second round, really the best option had to be just bringing Phil Jackson in as the coach. You could have kept Melo for one more year and really tried to make a move. Right now, though, I don't think Carmelo Anthony's going to stay. I think he's going to jump ship for sure. I wish he would just stay, not opt out to re-sign with the Knicks, but stay just one more year and then test free agency after next year. I think the Knicks under Fisher should make the playoffs, and they'll probably be a 7 or an 8 seed in the East. And the key, I think, for Knicks fans is to not overreact to next year, okay? If the Knicks have a bad year again, they're going to have flexibility the year after. They have everybody coming off the books pretty much in 2015, and there's going to be big moves to be made in 2015 too, and that's going to come down to Derek Fisher recruiting guys. If he can bring in a Kevin Durant, if he can bring in a LeBron James, if he can bring in these big-name players, that's going to be big for the Knicks, and that's going to make them a contender once again, not just in the East, not just in their division, but in the NBA for a title. I like the fit. I like how Derek Fisher has acted already, and I think it's going to be a great fit down the stretch, him and Phil, and they're going to be running that triangle offense for sure. Major League Baseball action last night. Gregory Polanco for the Pirates makes his debut. He goes 1 for 5 and scores a run. He's a big guy, big-time kid, a quick kid. He has a high IQ and a high on-base percentage for sure. Performance of the night is going to go to Brandon Workman for the Red Sox. He goes 6 2/3 shutout innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Red Sox beat the Orioles 1-0. And now it's time for your New York sports update. Last night, Yankees win 3-2. Jacoby Ellsbury in the 8th inning has the go-ahead RBI single after Derek Jeter hits a big-time double. Tonight, the Yankees are back at Seattle. First pitch right around 10:10. We'll have Masahiro Tanaka versus Chris Young. Tanaka 9-1 with a 2.02. Young 5-3 with a 3.42. Mets beat the Brewers 6-2. Matsuzaka throws 6 strong innings. Tonight we'll have a home game for the Mets as well. First pitch right around 7:10. We'll have Willie Peralta 5-5, 3.03, and Jacob deGrom 0-2 with a 3.19. And the Stanley Cup Finals Game 4 tonight. Rangers down 3-0. That'll be at 8 o'clock tonight. I think the Rangers will get it done tonight. They're not going to go quietly, and they'll win tonight at home. Friday, we have a busy weekend in sports. Friday, we'll talk NBA Finals as we'll have Game 4 done. Game 5 getting ready for. World Cup will be underway. U.S. Open from Pinehurst will be underway as well. We'll talk Major League Baseball, New York Sports Update as well. Always remember to follow me on Twitter, YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Drill. I will be back on Friday. Have a good rest of the week.